BC's favorite senior lifestyle magazine comes to life. Join us as Senior Living goes on location to bring you the inspiring, informative, and entertaining adventure-filled stories of seniors in your community. Senior Living on location, changing the definition of aging, celebrating seniors living life to its fullest. Stay with us as Senior Living on location meets up with a wood-loving bunch who whittle for the fun of it. Then we'll dance the night away with some traditional Celtic moves. We'll also show you a little sleight of hand by a tricky man who's lived his passion his entire life. But first, we'll take you to a land where everybody loves the sights and sounds of the locomotive, miniature style. They stare in awe, young, old, and in between. There seems to be a fascination among the male species when it comes to trains. Yes, there might be a gal or two who enjoys the tracks, but it's predominantly a male-dominated hobby. We did ask why.
There are a few. Mostly I think it's just an ego thing.
What's it all about? Well, technically, this is a hobby in which rail transport systems are modeled at a reduced scale. The scale models include everything from locomotives, streetcars, and tracks, to roads, buildings, vehicles, and model figures, too. And it doesn't stop there. The backdrops are just as important and feature elements such as hills, canyons, forests, and the list goes on. These hobbyists, called railway modelers or model railroaders, spend hours, days, years, sometimes large sums of cash creating their masterpieces.
I think it comes in your blood. My grandfather was an engine driver, and there's a lot of fun and sound, smoke, and the size is what's attractive. Kids can enjoy them, they're safe. Older people can, they're good on the eyesight, and the knees aren't too bad if you have to pick things up or work, so it's a good gauge. It's pretty big. People sort of develop the hobby over 10, 15, 20 years. The other nice thing with these is that second-hand market, you basically get back most of the money you've invested. It's better than fishing.
The earliest model railways were the carpet railways in the 1840s. They were powered by steam and were nicknamed Birmingham dribblers because they often left a trail of water behind them. But to the collector, dribble or not, the carpet railways are highly sought after, and some of them sell for up to $1,000. When Senior Living on location toured the Vancouver Island Garden Railway Club in Victoria, it was people of all ages that seemed to enjoy the model railways. Getting involved in model railway building is not only a fantastic personal hobby for active seniors, but it also provides a social networking opportunity for people as well. The Vancouver Island Garden Railway Club meets mostly in the spring, summer, and fall, and members can volunteer to host open houses. The club also holds workshops on building rolling stock and other related garden railway subjects. The club is open to anyone who has an interest in railroading.
Most of the model railroaders tend to be older individuals because they grew up with railroads. But I grew up watching model railroads, so I just continued into the hobby. I got into model railroads when I was about 7 or 8, and this particular layout is now 5 years old. This is actually its anniversary. It was brought to the show. It was just plywood and pink foam the first year, and then the last 3 years it's been pretty much what you see. Just every year we add a little bit here and there.
Senior Living asked what the fascination was with model railroads.
I've always been involved with it. My father was involved with it. I had a layout in my room when I was growing up, and when I had kids I got back into it. None of them bothered, but I was so fascinated I keep up with it. It's a matter of the electronics, we're running something. There's the artistic end of it, of making a scene that actually looks like the real thing. And, just all the things that are involved in that. And then it's a good way to spend time and enjoy yourself. And if it doesn't work out, you tear it out and start over again.
There are huge books that have been written on this. You've got everything from rock stars that do this, like Rod Stewart, all the way to, you've had jet fighter pilots, the whole bit. And when they get interviewed as to why they like it, because you get to have complete control over your environment. This is me. This is I decide if I don't like something, I just move it, take it away, do whatever I want to do.
Okay, we get it. Total control, world domination, at least on a smaller scale. And speaking of small, those who enjoy or would like to start this hobby but haven't the room, teeny tiny sets are also available.
This is the smallest available commercial model railway, and it's 1 to 450 reel size. The only manufacturer is a company called Ishido of Japan, and they have a North American distributor who I ordered through over the internet. I saw it, I model in much bigger scales normally, and said, wow, this would be fantastic to do in a little layout. So for somebody who was restricted, didn't have a lot of room, this would be great.
This little railway is about $160, but the boys also like them big. So big that their hobby runs into the thousands of dollars. Some railroaders are so devoted to their hobby that bringing something different to the table is what makes their pursuit even more enjoyable.
They're live steam, like all the rest of the stuff around here is electric, and these are like real engines. They just happen to be small. So there's hot water boiling in it, and steam oil, and away you go. When I was a little tyke, I lived in England before the war, and the railway went right behind our house, steam trains, you know. So I got it from my dad, and I've been a modeler ever since.
There are hundreds, if not thousands, of model railway clubs in existence, with people sharing their passion for building model train sets. Clubs like the one we visited showed off their talents at the Victoria Model Railway Show. This gives them the chance to meet, show off their goods, as well as trade and sell products and share ideas. Almost all of the trains have a historical reference, as do their backdrops. So for children, this is a great way to teach them a bit of history while being entertained at the same time. It's interesting to note that some clubs are involved in model railroading for the preservation of Canadian history, while others for the craftsmanship and sheer enjoyment. Model railroading is a great family-oriented hobby. It's an opportunity for one generation to pass on skills and information. For seniors and families, it's an excellent way to stay active and engaged in learning and developing knowledge and skills related to history, carpentry, electrical skills, economics, artistry, research, engineering, and geography.
Let's run them.
As one passionate railroader put it, all you need is a big basement and an understanding spouse.
Senior Living on Location is produced by Senior Living Media, celebrating seniors in our community.
It's a beautiful art form steeped in history.
It's the social dancing of Scotland. That means it's that everybody does it, from the landed gentry to the common folk, and it's always been that way, and it's not like other kind of forms of dance where it's more elite and court, only for the court. It came to Scotland with Mary Queen of Scots from the French court, so a lot of the terminology is French. Well, we have reels and jigs similar to Irish and many other forms of Scottish country dance, but we also have a rhythm called strathspey, which is unique to Scottish country dancing. It's a slower and more stately step, and actually is harder even though it's slower.
Senior Living on Location was invited to the Vancouver branch of the Royal Scottish Country Dance Society to take in a class and see why it's become a favorite pastime for people at any age. And you don't have to be a Scot to enjoy or enroll in a class. And Duncan MacKenzie always welcomes newcomers as long as, well, we'll let him tell you.
Everybody and anybody, so long as they can walk and smile. And as I say to the men, they have to do it at the same time, so it's harder for them.
The Royal Scottish Country Dance Society was formed in Edinburgh in 1923. From its earliest days, the Society has sought to promote and preserve and maintain the standards set by its founders. In addition, the RSCDS has always been anxious to emphasize the social character of Scottish country dancing, offering plenty of opportunity for friendship and fun. The great thing about this dance is that anyone can do it. It's rooted in a sense of community. For some, it's a great way for a long and loving relationship.
Oh, sure. I do it 3 times a week. I keep busy, all right. My wife plays bridge in the day and I go out at night. We have a great relationship.
As Senior Living on Location took in a class, we noticed a wonderful mix of people who not only enjoyed learning a culturally beautiful dance, but you noticed a wonderful sense of camaraderie. The class also boasted a great variety of people, from couples to singles. Eileen MacKenzie is a young senior who takes advantage of the many different dance groups in the Vancouver area. She discovered Scottish country dancing while doing something completely different.
About 5 years ago, I was in an artist group, and every Tuesday night we painted nudes. And so one night I was taking a break, getting a coffee, and I spotted them dancing over the other building. And I thought, you know, that looks like a lot more fun than painting nudes for 3 hours, so I switched and I started dancing.
Eileen got into dancing because she wanted an activity that would challenge her emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, and physically. And because she's on a pension, she looks for dance opportunities that are inexpensive. She also dances to help with the management of pain she has that results from a rare bone disease.
I dance because it takes away the pain for at least an hour and a half every day. And so I can rise above the pain, and I'm dancing, and it engages my brain and my body and my spirit.
Scottish country dancing is her favorite style, as it features partners dancing, which Eileen says provides her with a wonderful sense of community spirit, an element that's well known as characterizing Scottish céilí, an informal Scottish country all-ages dance where everybody participates. Scottish country dance clubs can be found all over the world. This style of dance is colorful and lively, as too is the music. Clubs are often important community destinations for Scottish immigrants. But the wonderful thing about this type of dance is that you don't have to be Scottish to participate. You just have to love to dance. And if you're a couple, share your spouse.
Senior Living on Location is produced by Senior Living Media, celebrating seniors in our community.
It's a place where everyone knows your name. The Ladner Woodworking Club began in 1976 with a grant from the federal government New Horizons program. In those days it was known as Hobbies Unlimited and existed primarily for seniors.
Essentially it was a club for retired people when it started back in the 1970s, and it used to be located in behind the McKee House in a 2-car garage. Well, the McKee House expanded and the garage disappeared, and so did our home. And this became our new house, and at the same time we expanded the membership to include anybody that lived in the area.
The group began with 7 members and has since expanded to about 70. And it also opened its door to women. Yes, you heard right.
Initially, when I heard about it, it was men only. And then they started taking women when they moved over here, which was great. And I've been a bit of a wood nut since, knee-high to a grasshopper. My dad's a faller.
Dawn creates these absolutely beautiful segmented bowls. She's made 30 so far, and only her family and friends have the honor of having one. Just about every creation here, including these pens, some of which are made from exotic African woods, are strikingly attractive. And it's thanks to wood buff and teacher Jack Hunter. Whether you're new to woodworking or need some expert advice, he's ready to help. A number of colorful senior characters make up the membership of the Ladner Woodworking Club. Each of them has a unique story to share and passion for woodworking. And another such character is former BCTV weatherman Norm Groman.
Ever since I was a kid, I've been attracted to woodwork. Some people like metalwork, some people like electricity, whatever it may be, painting, but I like making sawdust. And I'm a fairly newcomer to this area, 4 years in Tawasin, and I saw an ad in the paper Ladner Woodworkers Club, introductory open house on Saturday. So I came, said the membership is $120 a year, and I thought, I love making sawdust. I don't have any equipment, enough equipment at home. I've got thousands of dollars worth of equipment, all kind of unit, table saw, bandsaw, drill, lathe, thickness planer, you name it. There's thousands of dollars worth of equipment here. And it's a good way to spend a rainy day. I met some very nice people. One of the first ones was a gentleman you've already met, Jack Hunter, and he taught a group of us how to make pepper mills. One of the reasons that I enjoy this is that I was able to overcome a lot of fears of I can't do that. And Jack says, yes, you can. I mean, even if you know you might ruin the first two, or you might be able to salvage parts of the original ones, but you know, you try and you try, and it's amazing what you can make out of pieces of wood, even out of scraps like Don's bowls. It's recycling it at its finest.
Because Ladner, an area near Vancouver, is situated at sea level, most people don't have basements in their houses. And with the price of land in Vancouver, many don't have extra space to build workshops outside. As a result, the Ladner Woodworking Club was established to provide a safe, clean woodworking space with commercial-grade equipment. And it's this equipment that has Gordon Perry coming here. He's built everything from a rocking horse for his granddaughter to making a new kitchen for his home.
Let's face it, I don't have equipment like this at home. I just don't have the space. Even though I've got some equipment in my garage, I've got a cabinet maker's bandsaw that I paid a lot of money for a long time ago. It's got a 27-inch wheel. It makes the one in here look small, but it doesn't get used very much because of the need for space.
Members come from the local community to work on a variety of different projects. Everything from shelves, tables, pens, bowls, and even a canoe has been crafted here. The club also teaches the basics of woodworking to youth and trains members on safety and woodworking techniques. By belonging to the club, members have a wealth of knowledge, expertise, and creativity available to them as a group. The Ladner Woodworking Club, while not an exclusively senior group, allows and promotes seniors with an interest, hobby, or passion for woodworking to stay active and involved in a wonderful craft. The club and workshop not only provide the resources and equipment, something seniors that have downsized may no longer have readily at their disposal, but it provides a social environment and creative resource and educational pool for interested seniors to continue building their craft. And remember, old woodworkers never die. They just pine away.
Senior Living on Location is produced by Senior Living Media, celebrating seniors in our community.
This is Ray Roch, and his passion is magic. He's been practicing the craft for over 40 years. His experience is rich and varied, with performances in venues from cruise ships, trade shows, and festivals to private affairs. He specializes in close-up, strolling, and table sleight-of-hand card and coin magic tricks. Ray got his big break as a magician when he was performing at a nightclub in Vancouver. He was asked to join a Canadian Armed Forces tour of the Northwest Territories. This was a big accomplishment for Ray that led to many more gigs for him, including the famous Magic Castle in Hollywood and the acquisition of a coveted master's degree in magic from the 4F. Today, Ray no longer pursues shows for income. He considers himself retired and enjoys his magic as a hobby rather than a career.
I'm 70 years old, going on 71. I don't really look it, I think, but 70, 71, I'm in pretty good health. I still perform magic quite a bit, but I'm not out there chasing shows anymore, simply because 80% of your time is going looking for shows, 20% performing, and that 80% tires me out. At this time of my stage in my life, what I am doing is I am building magic tricks for other magicians. I'm developing routines, And one of them is this little box routine that I did. That's called the Impossible Box. It's going into a DVD. And it's for the use of other magicians so that the craft goes forward.
Ray enjoys watching others perform, and when called upon, he assists new magicians in the art of magic. You could say his passion for magic has led him in another delightful direction in his retirement. Ray now makes instructional videos for up-and-coming tricksters. He's compiling a DVD to sell, which features tips and tricks on how to do certain types of magic.
With a little, like this little box is going to actually stay together. You watch it closely. I take a card, I place it here. Place another card, I place it here. There's a lot of magic out there. There's a lot of young people that are so adept at magic. They seem to be able to do stuff that's just mind-boggling. I can't keep up with it. But at the same time, us old-timers, we have something to offer the magic community. And that's why I'm putting together some of the stuff that I know how to do and that I've developed and putting it into a DVD so they can carry it on and use it. And there's a lot of that happening. You can look on YouTube and you'll see all kinds of stuff. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are really doing the magicians a disservice by disclosing how a lot of magic is done. Okay, now I'm going to shuffle the cards. Notice how well I do this? Beautiful. Used to be a chicken plucker.
Despite being retired from magic, Ray still invents new routines. But don't expect Ray to share any tricks of the trade with you. He comes from a long line of magicians from a secret brotherhood. But at the same time, he credits how technology and communications are allowing a new generation of magicians to learn magic and develop innovative tricks. Ray believes that continuing to practice magic helps keep his arthritic fingers nimble and his mind sharp. For Ray, his side career and hobby has now become something he can do simply for the love of it. Do you have a great story idea about seniors living life to the fullest? Senior Living would love to hear from you. Your inspiring story idea could be featured in an upcoming episode on Senior Living on Location or in our monthly BC-wide Senior Living Lifestyle magazine. To send us your idea, visit our website at seniorlivingmag.com. and follow the links to our Contact Us page, or simply email us at production@seniorlivingmag.com.